Here for a good time, not a long time. It's so difficult keeping your emotions in check when discussing this subject matter because it pertains to everyone of all shapes and sizes, all skin colors around the world. I understand how privileged I am and how unfortunate some others are, not just in this country, which we'll get into in a moment, but the world. And I cannot be more grateful for my audience that I've built to this point. This channel has come a long way, starting from something like a petition or cry at the tallest mountain regarding climate change, which fell on deaf ears, unsurprisingly, then turning into an emotional roller coaster and bargaining to today where I have a intelligent, well-informed, frankly hilarious community on this channel, on this platform. And again, everyone's IQ combined, an IQ of 1,000. You guys all combined are, anything I can ask or ever want to know, you guys are there. So a quick thank you to my audience for sticking through this long. I make a variety of content. Sometimes it's very discouraging when I spend hours on one video, which garners only a couple dozen likes. But I do this for the people that are here and for myself. Pretty foolish of me to think that I had any change, but I was participating in a revolutionary act in producing this content. Forgive me, it is getting warm in here. And before you ask, I don't have pants on. That's how the Doom Wizard rolls. So here we are, September 13th, or is it the 12th? It's the 13th, yeah. And lots of things going on in the world, as you very well know. Putin and Kim Jong-un are meeting, hanging out right now. Be grateful that Elon stopped the nuclear war because he shut down Starlink satellites, apparently. Okay, we have a lot to catch up on. The International Energy Agency is about to run out of money. They owe like $218 million in deficits. They don't know how they're going to keep open, along with our own government, which sees its members being ousted left, right, and center. We are extremely divided and poor. Yes. Child poverty rate, as you also well know, I'm very on top of the news, rose to something like 20% last year, from 11 to 20, and or was it 12%? It's still an insanely high number. Along with general poverty, you have over 33 million people living in the streets. This is like Great Depression style level of inequity and disparaging, people suffering with their own ailments. I met a woman today with a torn rotator cuff. I mean, having to survive with their health ailments, older, younger, in this, with inflation rising, is a really special, grueling form of, it's not special, it's hell. It's straight up hell for so many people in America, while there are over 1,000 billionaires. This isn't depressing, this is the facts. I'm reporting it. Katie Couric did it for years, and, she's got famous with that, but I'm the wizard.
Meat sauce.
I'm running through the news here. Lots of poverty, inequality, inflation rose, and what UK households are feeling depressed, and money, woes, causing lots of mental headaches there, along with record heat there for the past couple days and continuing on. So, I'm aware of this earthquake and flooding in Libya, and Massachusetts is getting hit by floods. These random flood events is going to wipe out our wheat and rice supply. It's just going to be an intolerable world. You see the charts, and we're moving so fast, faster than expected. Okay. Whew. I wanted to cover two articles. On that note, U.S. sets new record for billion-dollar climate disasters in 1 year. 23 extreme weather events, much higher than 2020. And just published in The Guardian, Earth well outside safe operating space for humanity, scientists find. The first complete scientific health check shows most global systems beyond stable range in which modern civilization emerged. And they said it surpassed in the late 80s. All right. One boundary that is not threatened is atmospheric ozone. After action to phase out destructive chemicals in recent decades led to ozone hole shrinking. But the most worrying finding was that all four biological boundaries, which covers a living world, were at or close to the highest risk level. The living world is particularly vital to the Earth as it provides resilience for compensating for physical changes. For example, trees absorbing carbon dioxide pollution. So they're not irreversible tipping points in which sudden deterioration occurs. Instead, they are points after which the risk of fundamental changes in the Earth system are changed dramatically. Yeah, this is no good. All right. And I used to have a series. I know how divided we are. I know how futile it is attempting to convince people that isn't this. The people on this channel are, like I can talk on and on, are extremely intelligent. In fact, I wish I could have them here in a roundtable discussion to inform the other clueless morons. But I used to have a series called Telling Gen Z or telling young people about their future. And I usually tell people in their teens, sometimes in their 20s. But I had two interactions recently. One of them kind of funny and the other one not funny. But the typical kind of reaction, you understand there's a lot of young Trump voters, clueless morons or deniers. There's a lot of agnostic or on the fence, can't contemplate the data. And so I'll start with, I was at a restaurant, Diamond Deli in Akron, Ohio. A young man, and is probably 21, 22. He was a student. There's a university here. We were in line, and he told the clerk he was going back home to California, which means he comes from probably money and is insulated from the world at large. And as we both wait to receive our order, I tell him pretty soon California is going to be inundated with insurance claims and have a whole industry wiped out, and bankruptcy for that matter, left, right, and center. He said, well, because of what? I mean, this is a tall, pretty handsome looking, tall kid. Because of what? Because of wildfires? Everything. Wildfires, extreme storms, sea level rise, soil degradation, eroding coastlines. I mean, can you not see it? Can you not? But I don't say that. I said I studied, and I say this to everyone, I studied the data and where the evidence leads. I studied the information and followed where it goes. And, it's difficult for me to look, I'm a highly sensitive person. It's difficult for me to look at people in the eye when I first meet them. A lot of energy there. It's overwhelming, but I'm saying this, I'm looking like a crazy person. I'm saying this as I'm staring forward. I studied where it went, and I don't see us hanging on much longer for 10 or 20 years. He goes, really, you think so? I said, I'm 34. I've studied this for 6 years. I've already lived through a decade. I wouldn't be fucking with you. Do I look like I'm fucking with you? And I don't take it to heart. I don't take it personally or seriously. It's more, I have already had a year long of yelling about this issue of trying to convince, and really it's come from a place of care. I'm looking out for their future, or at least warning them of something that's coming, which is everything. But their prefrontal lobe isn't fully developed, and they are basically just little dum-dums, knowledge factories. They're going there, but that doesn't produce wisdom, and most colleges are not approved. Like, people are not signing up for colleges anymore because we're catching on. Maybe it's too expensive. You can find jobs without a high school degree, and anything you want to learn, surprise, there's the internet and free public libraries where you can check out literally anything you want. Pretty much anything. You can teach yourself, be an autodidact. Okay, that was story one. The bro reaction. The second one, a bit funnier, was a young woman, I would say she maybe 20, giving me the let's do it eye. Very flirty, but I'm at the jukebox, she's my waitress, picking a song, and I'm exhausted from a long day, and I cannot look at her but I can look forward and say, this is our last decade. Temperatures are rising exponentially. We are going to lose control. I'm trying to be as chill about it, but it comes off as like I'm a robot. And this was one of those rare instances where hormones took over. Again, with young people, this is a thing. And she goes, yeah, all right. Like she wanted to fuck, okay? She was like hitting on me. And I was trying to tell her that it was the end of the world. There's that. That happens. Again, it's so difficult remaining chill about all this in context to everything that's going on. The deniers, the state of politics right now, the population which doesn't care to know and doesn't even know and doesn't care to know what's happening. On the bright side, I can hit 100-yard targets, 100-yard headshots with relative ease now. After a year spending lots of money, time, and energy watching lessons and going to the range and actually doing it, I am competent now in my ability to defend myself easily within 100 yards, and I'm working up higher to the next yardage, but it's not that much different. I figure it out. So that's a comforting feeling. So full confession today, guys. Back to the world, Biden says he doesn't think China's going to invade because they have economic problems, even though they just sent 28 warplanes in the no-fly zone of Taiwan. They're constantly circling them and planning drills and a blueprint for how they're going to reunify it, along with Russia, who's trying to do the same. And we just passed all these boundaries, and before too late, it's too hot and too uncomfortable. And I've spoken with people recently who have other health ailments, conditions that I can't even pronounce. They have to come to terms with pretty much it's over. They were going to be one of the first ones to die. I know my own mother falls into that category, and perhaps father. So here I am, a 34-year-old man, awoken to the facts and reality of abrupt and irreversible climate change, which is destroying habitat for humans on Earth. Geopolitical tensions are at their highest level ever. We do not have a democracy. And I'm just so election tired. I'm just ready for the 2024 election to be over with and this country to implode. Bidenomics is not working out for us. I mean, which one do you want? This old man or this who's 80 or this guy who has 72 felony counts? Can't even speak rationality to people. It's the system which produced this polarization, inequality. I've given up expectations. People don't talk to each other. We're in full-blown denial. We can't leave it up to the politicians and leaders because there's no change. We see nothing happening. It takes the people, but the people are not well informed and not educated, as I am continuously spilling my guts out about on this channel for over 2 years now. Okay, that's my rant today. I was going to do a live cast, but you got that. You got a few more years left to enjoy, folks. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here on this journey with me. See ya.